Welcome to the Everyday Hustle Show, where we're figuring it out together over time. On the show, we'll be giving you the tools you need to take your career and life to the next level. So get ready for interviews and topics that will give you a competitive edge against the shuffle we call life. Sure, we might get into some heavy topics, but we also like to laugh and have a fun time too. Are you ready for the show? Here's your hosts, Jesse, Andrew, and Christian.
Start.
Are you playing the intro? Or
Oh, no, Christian.
Oh, no intro.
Start, dude.
Yo, welcome to another edition of the Everyday Hustle Show. Tonight is episode, I think, 27. Yeah, 27. Last week we had Lalo, so if you didn't check that out, check it out. It was cool. But yeah, let's check in. Jess, what's going on with you, brother?
What's going on there, fellers and audience listeners? You know, it's just another Saturday night here in America.
Yep.
Sunny South Florida. Welcome to the Everyday Hustle Show. Yeah.
That should be the new intro.
Thank you.
It's not sunny, though.
You just go like this. Good morning, everybody. It's sunny and 69 degrees here in sunny South Florida, Lake Worth. Yeah.
What about you, Drew?
I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah, before we started, Drew was contemplating while we're still doing this, but once we get like 10 minutes in, he's freaking stoked. So then he remembers.
We're working on sponsorships.
That's
We're
right,
almost,
dude.
We almost got Bang knocking on our doors, dude.
Yeah,
easy,
dude.
Easy, guys.
Easy, bud.
Pump the brakes, guys.
Okay.
So, nothing, Drew? You got nothing for us?
Nope.
All right. Well, tonight we need to catch up with Jess because he's been away for like 6 months.
Years.
6 months to 17
Yeah.
years.
Ah, dude, 2 whole episodes without Jesse.
2 whole
I don't even know
episodes.
why. I don't know what to think.
You know, I got locked up for conspiracy to commit
Grand larceny.
grand larceny. Yeah. No, you know, just been going through the moving process.
That's right.
Been at it for like 2 weeks. It's all done now. So
You're living with, moving in with Frank, right?
moving in with Mr. Frank Law.
Francis.
Everybody.
Shout out to Francis.
If anybody's looking to write me fan mail, just email us and I'll shoot you the address. But yeah, it's been good. So I've been doing that. Work's been this week was pretty rough at work. You know,
Wow, what's going on?
we got hit by direct hit by lightning, caused a lot
I
of
seen
electrical
that.
damage and stuff, and it was jacked up. Put in like a 16-hour day there with a bunch of my coworkers, making sure everything got
Your comrades?
fixed, but we made it through. You know, that's the only reason it was rough. Other than that, it was just regular week.
So it shut down
course.
the whole plant or wherever you work?
Yeah, we got it going by that night, but it happened at like 2:00, and we were there till 10:30 that night, getting it fixed up and ready to go for the next day. Reared up, ready to go. But other than that, had a great night last night. Went to the
Oh, that's right.
Palm Beach Improv with Helene and Kyle and his friend and TJ Miller. I love that guy.
Yeah.
It's freaking great.
He was in Deadpool, right?
He was the guy, yeah, the glasses, curly hair guy from Deadpool.
He was like the art. What is it? Co-actor.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of the word.
yeah. He's in, or he was in Silicon Valley.
Never watched it.
That's a great show. You know, well, it was a great show until I think he got fired for like being drunk all the time and showing up late. That's what I heard. But
Is he a drinker or what?
oh yeah, half his bit last night was on drinking and smoking weed, but he's a character, man.
Yeah.
But he was funny as hell. He was saying that he hates people from Dallas, and then some girl like stood up in the front and was like, "I'm from Dallas," and he said, "You know, my favorite thing to do is to verbally obliterate people," and then he just freaking spent like a half hour just
Roasting her?
destroying this girl.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was amazing.
That's like the last thing you want to do at a comedy show is like bring any sort of attention
like,
to yourself.
that's what we were talking about. We're like, she completely asked for it. You know, she stood up and was like, put her arms out like, "I'm from Dallas," and he's like, dude, it was great. But the whole show was great. A good time.
Awesome. Yeah, I went to me and Kelly went to the movies yesterday and we watched Hereditary. It was pretty good.
What's it about?
It's horror.
Horror.
Yeah, in the horror genre. And it was pretty good, actually. At one point, there was like an elderly couple sitting next to us. And at one point, there was like a really insane, excellent scene, like horror scene.
Yeah.
And they legit got up and they're like, oh, like horrified and like stormed out and never came back.
This is malarkey.
I don't think they like understood what was about to happen. Like, maybe they thought it was just like a little bit scary, but
Yeah.
yeah, movies
It's wild.
nowadays
It's wild.
are stepping it up a notch.
Touche.
But
Drew?
What, dude?
What's the matter, dude?
Drew's just not fired up today.
Talk to us, dude. I mean, we're freaking out here.
Living,
we freaking
bro.
just were at a pool party.
Yeah, that's right.
Saying farewell to our dear friend Kyle Swinson. Who's,
Shout out.
He's leaving the state of Floridian tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Did you just say state of Floridian?
Yeah, I did.
What's wrong with this dude, bro?
Dude, I'm freaking ready to go right
He's
now.
fired up. Dude, he's drinking Bang.
Freaking just got out of freaking jail for conspiracy to commit grand larceny. I'm ready to freaking go.
That's true.
So, what's up with you, dog?
Yeah, dude,
Drew?
you're freaking not vibing tonight, bro.
Drew, you're not here, bud.
I'm here, brother.
He's chilling. He's laid back.
We don't know what we're gonna talk about, so
We're talking, dude.
Yeah, dude.
We're talking right now.
live.
We're in here to freaking live. All right.
That's it, brother. Yeah, one thing that Drew absolutely wanted to talk about was the World Cup. And
Yeah, he was very adamant about that.
Oh my
And, dude,
God.
today, for anyone that follows, well, I guess this will come out tomorrow, but it was a good game. Portugal's out. Argentina's out. France and Uruguay advance.
We ha. Listen, that's it for the World Cup. I'm with Drew on this. I
You
don't
can't
want to
stand
hear about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to freaking be there. I just don't care.
Well, that's a negative.
Oh, it's just
attitude.
like nobody talks about soccer at all, and then all of a sudden
Dude,
the
it's
World
a
Cup. and
global
like
sport. It's the most global sport.
No, I'm saying nobody ever talks about it, and then all
Yeah,
of a
you
sudden the
never
World
hear,
Cup's
like,
on. And it's like,
hey,
oh, I gotta.
yeah.
You're never like
oh.
you're never out at Smoke Inn having a cigar with your buddies, and TJ goes, "Hey, Christian, you see the soccer?" Well, actually, that probably does happen in your life, but only you.
I was gonna say if you're friends with soccer fans, then yeah, of course.
Yeah, but in my life,
That's like saying Muhammad is the most commonly used name in America. You know,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's like
probably
saying
not
that
America.
soccer is a global sport.
It is.
Yeah, it's a
global
global.
sport.
I'm not saying that it's not a global sport. I'm
Yeah,
saying
Christian.
nobody ever talks about it until the World Cup. Now all of a
that's
sudden
not-
everyone's. I've never seen you wear a soccer jersey until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Are
dude.
you kidding? No, you're lying. 100%.
He out of anyone though. This guy.
I can show you pictures.
This guy goes out barefoot on Sundays, or he used to, at least when he was a real freaking Mexican, and he'd play soccer from time to time. Now, he's sold out.
dude.
I'm just saying you're a fair weather fan.
Not even close. You can ask
You're a fake.
my friends.
You're a fraud.
My friends
A
that
phony.
watch football.
A fugazi.
My friends that watch football.
Guys,
That we talk all the time about club level
football or
teams.
football?
Football.
Football.
Football. So, yeah.
All right.
All right, maybe I'm just being a hater.
I feel a little something.
I mean, I'm a hater, but I'll let you live.
Thank you, dude.
I'll let you
It's a
live.
big thing, dude. It's a big thing every 4 years, and I think next year or next World Cup, it's in Qatar, and I think I want to make a trip out.
Where
to
is
that.
you know what? Helena's brother's talk. She's like, he's all over the World Cup. He's talking about taking off of work for like a month next year.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Banks got me. A
Choked
little
up.
gastrated. But he's talking about taking off work for a month and like following it around, planning it out.
Yeah, because when you do
Yeah.
that, like people do go out there and you don't even have to buy tickets to get into the stadium. You can literally just go and
Just fist fight.
right outside the stadium, they have like events and like watch parties. So you literally just need to
But
pay.
why
for
would you go to Qatar all the way to go outside the stadium and watch it on a TV?
Let me ask you this: have you ever?
Who in
I
their
don't know if you're into
fucking-
sports, but have you ever watched a game by yourself and watched the game with other people? It's 100% different. The vibe is different. Energy's different. Trust me, dude. It's a
Alright.
whole different ball game.
It's like that with any sport, though.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not saying just soccer. I'm saying those when you're around a bunch of people.
Where's Qatar?
It is right next to, I believe. I was looking it up the other day. Iran. I think it's right next to Iran. So it's up like
Drew, can you get out a map and verify that location?
it's
You
somewhere.
could
up
Google
there.
it.
Yeah,
Google
dude,
it,
it's
because I
somewhere
feel
up
like
there.
Christian is fucking talking out of his asshole right now.
I googled it the other day, dude. I'm telling you, it's like up there somewhere, but it's really small and I don't know. It'd be cool. I wouldn't go for a month though. That's crazy.
Wait, QUA
TAR.
Qatar with a Q.
Yeah, it's right here.
Is it next to Iran?
Iran?
Kind of. It's across. What's that body of water? The Dead Sea there?
The friggin' Red Sea?
The Persian Gulf.
Oh, there
Ooh,
it
the
is.
Persian Gulf.
So I mean, it would be
Alright.
cool.
It's a
just
long
to
flight,
travel.
bub.
Yeah. But I've been thinking that I want to travel a lot more. So we'll see what happens. I just got my passport. That's the first step. I'm gonna be going on a cruise in actually a few months now.
Where are you going?
We're going to, I think the only spot is Mexico, but it's like Cancun or something like that. I'm going with Kelly and her family.
You're going to the
Alright.
White Mexico.
The white part of Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never been. But yeah, I've been thinking I want to do a little bit more traveling, so we'll see what happens. Kelly's going to start school in hopefully
Aren't you going?
January.
Aren't you going to Europe next year?
Yeah, March. Let's plan.
Nice.
Yeah, London
Nice.
and Paris
Frick yeah.
to watch a football game. Chelsea.
Oh, here he goes. It's friggin' Chelsea.
So
If anyone has ever followed Christian on Snapchat, you see a Chelsea post at least once a week.
Oh, thank you. Exactly, dude. So
Yeah.
it's not
But
just
only in the
World
past
Cup.
2 weeks.
No,
3
dude.
weeks.
They haven't
No,
even
ever since
played.
I've known Christian, it's been Chelsea this, Chelsea that. Ooh, I want to friggin' see Chelsea without his friggin' clothes on. You know?
Dude, it's a passionate sport.
Yeah. Passion is what they say. Nah.
You're trying to come up with something slick.
I lost
Didn't
it.
work.
So
Not working out for you.
no.
So Drew, what's new with you?
Drew, what's up with you, Drew?
He's getting up.
Hold on, I just gotta turn the air off,
The
everybody.
AC.
The AC is cranking right now, and frankly, we're a little chilled. So Christian, I see that you were you in some sort of thing at work, like a probationary thing? Because like this week, you said like you got the official
the uniforms.
uniforms, or was it
Yeah.
just like you were waiting on uniforms for months?
No, they wait 3 months.
90 days,
90
probationary
days.
period, sort of. They do that where I work. So
Yeah.
you're in, dude. You're in there.
Yeah, I'm in there, dude. Today or
They give you a raise, 90 day,
Not
like,
yet.
hey, pat on the back.
nope,
You're freaking.
not yet. Nah, on Friday actually, I got into a little argument. Not argument,
Argument?
but like a little. I don't even know what to call it. My boss, basically, there was an issue with he sent me to a place and there was an issue, and he pretty much like started chewing me out because it was a wrong unit that I was working on, right?
So you went to a complex and worked on the wrong unit by accident?
Well, I was working at this place in Miami, that hotel,
Yeah.
and there was an issue with one unit. So he told me, yeah, go on the roof. He told me exactly where to go. It's on the north side of the roof. It's number 4, and it's in between 2 units. I went on the roof, north side, number 4, in between 2 units. Coming to find out, there are 2 number 4s on the north side,
Well, how's that
in
your
between
fault?
2 units.
He
Exactly.
didn't freaking tell you that.
Exactly. So he's cool.
You can
man.
only work with the information you're giving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
He's cool, but it's just he's like an old school type of like blue collar old school. Like I've told him, things that he's done incorrectly, not a lot, but like a couple things, and just never really listened. But anyways, so he's like chewing me out, and I've never really done this before, but I was like, well, no, I did exactly what you told me to do, because he was telling me like, look, you need to talk to me more. We need to communicate better. Like you need to tell me when you're doing stuff. And he like was starting to get short with me, and he was like, hurry up, go to the other unit, hurry up, like that. And I was like, well, hold on. I was like, you told me go to the north side. I ran it right, back to him. You told me to go to north side, number 4, in the middle, 2 units. This is the one I did. And like they have addresses, like IP addresses. And so that's how we found out it was the wrong one. I was like, if you knew there was more than one, we should have done this and verified from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, after that, it was cool, but it was just kind of like different. Like I've always kind of just taken the shit and like not said anything and just kind of like, resented or like.
This is a great subject.
You know what? I like this because, you know what though, dude? Like, no matter what you're talking about in life, whether it's work or whatever,
Right.
like shit happens, you know. You make mistakes, or other people make mistakes, and you choose to like learn from that. But that is completely, you know, you stood up for yourself.
Right.
You know, I agree with that, because it's like, if you're only given so much information,
Right.
what are you supposed to do beyond that? You know?
Yeah, and he tends to like talk to. It wasn't just me, and I noticed that when we worked with another person, he talks to people like they're like his son. I mean, he is a supervisor, but like just the way he talks to people, it's literally like he's talking to like a kid, like his son.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll ask, like, "Did you do this?" Like something completely simple. And,
I
like,
hate that.
Yeah,
I
so.
hate that.
But it was cool, man. Like I felt really good about it. And then after, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, I need to clean my ears out better. So he made a comment where basically he took a little bit of responsibility, you know. But if I wouldn't have like said anything about it, just kind of like let it go, then he would have just continued to like probably tell, you know, his higher up or something else, and like,
Oh yeah, Christian fucking up.
right.
You know?
So
You guys see what I got pulled up here?
What is that? Difference between a boss versus a leader.
Ooh,
You know what? Read that out, because I think I need some of this information.
Okay, so this is something I think about all the time, and this is a cool topic that we somehow stumbled upon, and I'm happy that we have some direction
Drew
now.
was friggin' worried, dude.
So, okay, so we'll start with a boss first, because I feel like what you just talked about with your boss, with what happened, some of these things on this list, probably, you know, you could say that he was acting like.
Mm-hmm.
So a boss will drive the employees,
Mm-hmm.
whereas a leader will coach them. A boss will depend on their authority, when a leader depends on goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
A boss inspires fear. A leader generates enthusiasm. Boss says I. Leader says we.
Mm.
The boss places the blame for the breakdown, and the leader helps fix the breakdown.
Right.
We could just pause there, and then we could talk about this, and then we'll read the rest of them. So he was kind of, you felt like in that situation, he was kind of like driving you and saying, hey, stop. Hey, go here, do this. Where instead, the maybe more constructive way to do it would be like, hey, call me when you get up there.
Right.
Let's take a look around before you start working on any units. You know, just to reassure the fact that you're in the right, you know, place.
From this point forward, maybe we should have done this.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Like check the freaking IPs or whatever you got to do to make sure we're at the right one. But
wait, so did you have an IP for a unit before you went up on the roof?
No, I didn't have any information. No, because and here's where I'll take responsibility for sure is, you know, I could have definitely looked at, because there's a whole bunch of units up there. So I could have definitely went around and like looked at the numbers just to verify myself.
Right, but from your standpoint, he said go here, and you found that one. So you're like, why would I look around when I found what I'm looking for?
And I verified with them too. Yeah. And I verified with them because there's 4-1 and 4-2, and I verified, hey, I'm at 4-1. He's like, okay, check the pressures, and went on from there.
What about because you are in this role, so
yeah, you know what?
I mean, do you have issue? Do you like? I mean, be honest. Like, have you ever just told someone, "Hey, do this because I'm telling you to do it because I'm in this position for a reason, and just go do it"?
Right.
Versus, you know.
No. Okay. So the challenge for me, though, you know, I've seen there and other places I've worked too, more of like a boss than a leader, who comes in there, doesn't have like a good relationship with the employees, and he doesn't necessarily, especially the we thing.
Yeah.
You know, he would delegate responsibility, but when it came down to the end of the day, he didn't offer his own support. And, you know, the whole fucking place turned on him because, you know, they didn't feel like they had his support, you know, and he was just barking orders out and shit. And the challenge, though, for me has been trying to, like, not follow those footsteps, but as in some of the lines, like, you know, I'm managing a fleet of truck drivers, whereas I've never driven a truck. So when you're talking about coaching...
So do they think you're a bitch?
No, it's just like, you know, if I got to go out to a job site and the guy's in a bad position, like, luckily I have, like, a mechanic that, you know, is very experienced with driving trucks. And if somebody's, like, the other week, we had a guy, he went into some area he shouldn't have went into and ended up leaning the truck to the point where he was like, I'm not moving it. It's going to roll over. And in hindsight, it probably wasn't going to. But if I would have been out there myself, I'd be like, holy shit, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I'm not going to get in this truck and try to move it. But I have, like, the support of some good people who...
So then that situation, the mechanic guy told you what to tell the driver.
Well, the mechanic guy went out there, assessed the situation with me, and then I made a decision that no one was going to touch the truck, and we called 2 wreckers to come get it out of there. You know,
like with the tow truck?
Yeah, because once a wrecker comes there and he hooks up to it, if he starts pulling it and it falls over, it's on them. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know, it probably isn't going to go over, but let's take it out of our hands.
Does that cost the company money? Or do they have their own wreckers?
No, it's outside towing and shit. But it takes, you know, if I would have been out there and the truck would have rolled over because I told somebody to get in it, I'm gone. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's...
And rightfully so. You should be gone.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's like, you know, whether or not it probably was going to roll over or not, you got to like try to...
Yeah. Interesting scenario. I've been in a few management roles where people are always like let's say you're managing a sales team, right? And, you know, you have the ability to kind of coach these guys, and they in their eyes, they always think like, oh, you don't know what it's like because you've never done what I've done.
Yeah.
In that situation, the person driving the truck is kind of right if they say that because you haven't driven the truck. But in like a situation like mine, people want to say, oh, you don't know what it's like, when it's like, I know what you've like. I've gotten to the position that I've gotten to because I've worked your job and everyone else's fucking job in this place. And it's like, and I've been chosen for the position because I know what I'm talking about.
People don't really look at me like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, because I've been in the industry for 8 years and have worked every other aspect of it besides driving a
truck. So what I like doing in those situations, and you can't really do it. It wouldn't work for you. But like, let's say it was a sales job. I'll get on the phone and I'll write a sale.
Yeah.
Oh,
just to show you, or like, hey, you want to see me talk to this person? Grab the headset. I'll plug you into my phone. You can hear me do it. And like that, just, I would have to do that every couple months, not only to like sharpen my skills, but also to like, you know, reassess the fact that like, you know, I'm a leader, not a boss. Like I'm not, you know, barking things at you and telling you to do X, Y, and Z when I wouldn't do it myself.
Right.
Yeah, but no,
not only what I wouldn't do it, but them say like, you don't know how to do it.
Right.
I'll show you I know
how. A long way though. It really does, because same thing with this week. So whether or not there's something going on that needs done, like rather than just be like, hey, you got to get out there and get this done. Like I'll be like, hey, let's go out here and do this together and at least get started with it, to show like I'm not willing to like ask anybody to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself.
Yeah.
And the same thing like this week, you know, it was kind of the lightning thing. It was like a freak accident, and it was nobody's fault necessarily, but the one guy kind of, you could tell he felt responsible because some of the equipment was left on, you know, but it happened quickly, and I never blamed him or, you know, anything. But I could tell he wanted to stick around, you know, till it was fixed, and like, you know, be like, hey, I'm willing to help out. But it was like, get out of here, you know. And like me and my bosses, like the area managers, were all there till 10:30 at night, because, you know, we're not gonna like be like, hey, you stick around till it's done. Like ultimately, like we're all like, we'll stay here till 10:30 at night and make sure everything's ready to go. But that stuff does go a long way.
Yeah, and then the rest of it just says like, okay, so the boss knows how it is done, the leader shows how it is done, the boss uses people, the leader develops people, the boss takes credit, the leader gives credit, the boss commands, the leader asks, the boss says go, the leader says let's go.
Yeah, and you know what's another good thing that I was thinking
Develops people. I love that.
Yeah. And you know what? Some of the guys that are my managers or were my managers, the 2 guys are kind of responsible for me getting where I am with that company, completely like developed me. And like, it's true. Like, for sure. Those guys freaking did are completely responsible.
So let's talk about this. If you have a boss who's like the boss side, not the leader side, I mean, how have you guys reacted to people like that?
I mean,
if someone's barking commands at you and
honestly,
giving
it doesn't feel good. And I think that's been a big driver to me to be like,
different,
try hard to not come off that way to people, and like really like whether it's something stupid or little, like if somebody comes to you and even it's about like you get a lot of shit with like uniforms. Well, they'll be like, hey, my uniform guy, I'm missing 5 uniforms. Like, just remembering little shit like that and making sure you do something. Like if somebody comes to you with something, you're listening to what they say and actually like doing your best effort to like correct it. Like,
what does that have to do with uniforms?
I'm just saying like
tasks, like
yeah, like I've had people before where like you'd be like, hey, you know, this my pay's fucked up, you know, like, and then next week you're like, my pay's still fucked up,
right?
And then the next week you're like, dude, are you gonna fix my fucking paycheck? And
as
so,
the
like,
leader,
people,
you're saying,
yeah, when people come to you,
oh, bro, don't even get me started with that.
That shit really irks me.
Yeah.
So like, I
bro.
try hard to not fucking do that kind of shit. Because
bro. If someone comes at you about the pay, you
Anything.
immediately get it squared up, right?
But like any kind of little thing, because those guys
are
like,
the
remember that kind of shit. And they're like, this fucking guy doesn't
well,
listen
look,
to
I mean,
anything
if my
say.
paycheck ain't right, why the fuck am I working?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You know,
I mean, if I'm not getting paid to be here, for sure.
You
like,
get it a lot. I mean, I get it a lot with like, they're like, hey, like, because they get so much vacation. It's different for everybody, but they'll be like, hey, I want to take Friday off, OBR, which means like off by request, no pay. So they're saving their vacation. And if I accidentally put a vacation day in or something, they come in Monday like, what the fuck, man? You fucked me.
Yeah, but you could go to your boss and say, look, I made a mistake, and I'm sure they could adjust it.
Yeah, it's a huge process, though. So usually
Yeah.
I just correct it without anyone knowing. Like, I'll just be like, all right, I'll give you another day.
Ooh.
It's easier to correct it that way.
Ooh. Yeah. Hopefully human resources ain't listening, brother.
Yeah, that's a good question, though.
Listen.
Like,
go ahead.
When I was going to say, like, my last, that's why it was such a big thing for me on how I handled that situation with my current boss. Because my last job, my boss was very passive-aggressive, very, like, insecure, like it almost seemed like she felt like people didn't want her like in her position, or like it was kind of a weird it was a weird thing, but she was very passive aggressive, like to the point where everybody knows
a boss can't be like that.
And exactly, and but the thing is I was never able to properly communicate how
with her and just tell her like, yo, you gotta just tell me what to do sometimes and point me in the right direction and tell me.
Never. And it was weird because I would like...
I don't like people like that in like social settings or anything. It's like, oh, where do you want to eat? Oh, I don't care, dude. I'll eat wherever you want to eat. What are you feeling? I don't know, dude. Whatever you want to eat. Dude, just... I mean, it's like that with girls a lot too. Yeah. But I mean... Well,
I do that a lot too, actually. But I can make a decision now, though. Yeah. It used to be like when I first came down here, Drew, I couldn't make... And Drew made all my life decisions for me.
Yeah,
everything.
Tough.
I want to go back to the pay thing, right? Because that's very interesting to me, because that's happened in multiple jobs that I've been at. And like, to me, it's like, yo, listen, I mean, this is some bullshit. Like if you don't give a shit enough about your guys or your team or whoever to go to whoever you have to go to correct the pay, then like you just have no fucking respect for the people that are working for you.
And I've seen like a whole...
Like if I have to ask you for what I've earned,
yeah,
you're scum, dude. You know, like, it's one thing to make a mistake and correct it and say, look, I apologize, you know, whatever it is. But, like, as, like, an owner of a company or a higher up or someone who's in a managerial position, like, that shit's got to be on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
but
like top priority.
You know, yeah, of course. And listen, there's big companies, people make mistakes, human beings. But, like, if you're in a position like that, you're getting paid well enough where you need to not make mistakes. And if you do make mistakes, they better get fixed fucking fast.
Right.
Especially when it comes to the money, people's money.
Because it can, I mean, at least where I work, it can get kind of complicated because of the union contracts.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So if the guys, like, the previous manager was doing the payroll and the guys would come and be like, dude. So if they start before 2 a.m. and work a shift, for that entire shift, they get paid an extra $1.50 an hour. And there's a way you got to code it in the system, and he kept missing it. And like, it was like, I figured it out. Like, it was like a whole week, you know, where the guy didn't get paid the shift pay, and it didn't add up to much. It added up to like, you know, fucking $25 or something that he was short, but it mattered to fucking him, you know. And like the guy was like, oh yeah, I'll fix it. Never fucking fixed it, and he just like wrote him off, you know.
Yeah, and like you said, people remember that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a big difference.
So how did you and your boss resolve? What was the end result of that conversation?
It was good. I mean, it was still.
So like you
short.
stood up for yourself. Is that like the first time where you gotten to that point? Because I know like this is kind of a new position for you, new job, big company.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people would probably be scared at that point to stand up for themselves because they would fear that they might get reprimanded.
Right.
But you did, and
yeah, because like I said, his personality is kind of like that, where so many times he's talked to me like that, and to a certain degree I'm like I'm okay with it, because like I said, that's just his personality. He talks to everybody like that. And but I will say, so okay, so in normal circumstances I really don't care. I'm kind of like, okay, I'm just here to get my job done. I'm not gonna let this stress me out. But in this situation where it was a little bit of like I don't want to say bigger issue, because I resolved it, like even without him there. I mean, he helped me out, but in this situation where he was literally getting short, and like I said, at one point he was like, hurry up, like talk, like that. And I was just, like I said, I just basically told him, I told him exactly what I was thinking, explained to him very clearly, like you can definitely tell my voice that I was like, serious, but there was no like second guessing, no doubting. I told him exactly the way I felt, and I was just like, look, I did exactly what you told me to do. If you would have, and I told him this too, I was like, if you would have told me like when I first got here, to check the IP address to verify, I wouldn't have said no, because that's basically what he was saying. He's like, look, you need to, you keep doing this. He said like, you keep doing this where you do things without telling me, or something like that. And I was like, this is probably like the second or third time that I've come to a job by myself. So what do you mean keep doing that?
Yeah.
Like, and that's, I think he was just caught up in the moment. But yeah, at the end of it, after we had that conversation, it was still kind of heated, because we had to kind of go back and forth to resolve the situation. I had to basically, it was actually kind of cool to do the process, but I had to like recover refrigerant from that unit that I just put it in and take it out. Then it's a process to do that, and then put it in a new unit. So we were kind of going back and forth, calling him every other 5 minutes to verify that I was doing, what I was supposed to do. But then after that, like once I got home, like a few hours later, he sent me a text, and he sent me a text that like showed that everything was working, a picture of like all the units, because he can log in remotely.
They're all hooked up to a network?
Yeah. So that's what the IP address. Mm-hmm. So he was, he sent me a picture. He's like, okay, everything's good, good job, he said. And then he's like, yeah, I just, I just think that we need to communicate better, but I just need to, I think he said something like, I just need to clean out my ears better, I think, or something like that.
So he like semi-apologized.
He like semi-apologized.
Yeah. Right. I mean, he probably saw like, well, at least this dude like taking pride in the work he's doing, right. And like he admits his own fault, whether you both fucked up or he fucked up, like it is what it is. Move forward and live.
That's it. Yeah, it was big though for me, because it was like, like I said before, with my last boss, I was not able to communicate, because there was just such a, I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I didn't want to like, overstep my boundaries. And the one thing I didn't want to do is say something out of anger. You know what I'm saying? That I wasn't able to like, you say something like that may be true, but then like it's kind of out of the side of your neck, so it's kind of hard to pull it back or like make it coherent.
Yeah, but you also get to a point in your life where you're like, I don't fucking play games.
Right.
And like I feel like we're kind of all at that point where it's like, you're going to say how you feel, and if you basically believe in what you're doing, no matter whether it's like a decision that you make in your life or at work, or like everything that I did, like at my last job, before I lost my last job, everything that I did was like it aligned with my beliefs.
Right.
And what I believed in my personal life. And if I did something wrong or made a mistake, I would always be the first one to fess up to it.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna fucking catch me beating around the bush, saying, "Oh, this person did this person did that." Like I'm never gonna fucking. It's either I did it or I didn't do it. And if I know someone else did it, then I'm gonna fucking tell you right away. I'm not gonna be worried about snitching or this or that. Like that's how you get to like a managerial position or something like that. Yeah. It's like, because there's no fucking time to play games. Right. In that work world like that, big companies and shit like that. So it's one of those things that you just learn over time, and it's like, people just gotta grow the fuck up sometimes, Stop being little bitches.
And stand up for themselves, yeah.
You meet a lot of people out there willing to throw the next guy under the bus.
Fuck, dude.
It's crazy, dude.
Fuck,
Crazy.
boys.
That I completely agree though. Like I have no problem like admitting fault. You know, like if I fuck something up, I'm the first person.
And
to be
the
like,
thing
hey.
is that people like respect you so much more if you do that. It's like if you're gonna be a liar and you're gonna fucking manipulate people and you're gonna say I don't know or you're gonna place the blame somewhere else, like, dude, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
100%.
That's great. That's a great topic, though. It really.
How
is.
did we see? Drew was so worried, and all I did was ask Christian a fucking question, and we're there.
Yeah, I need to get my name tag now, though. That's the last thing.
You got it?
No, not yet.
You gotta get it?
Yeah, I need to get. Dude, once I get the name tag, that's when it'll be official.
You get 401k benefits.
I was gonna say Chris or Chrissy.
Good for you,
Christian.
Chrissy. Chris.
Chrissy, what the heck?
What the?
What in
Should
the?
call you brown guy.
No, I'm not the only one in the company, so that
Oh.
would be mistaken, or they'd mistake me for.
Yeah, let
Brown
me ask you this: does your boss work on job sites anymore, or just work
No,
behind
he
the
does.
computer? And
No, he does.
Alright.
He's and they put me with him a lot. Probably, to.
in those types of companies, there's always like there are people who work in the offices and stuff,
Oh yeah,
right? Too.
like my actual boss.
Receptionist billing probably.
Well,
I'm talking like
No, yeah, you're right. My actual boss is in a office. He'll come out to like job sites, but like rarely.
all right, like they
What, he's just
plan the
bidding
jobs.
jobs?
Bidding
and
jobs.
shit
like
and-
that.
Yeah, he's like the one that runs commercials, so he like
Yeah.
oversees.
Dude, my company's fucked up right now.
Really?
They're unresponsibly bidding work that we can't handle right now,
yeah.
and it's fucking crazy. It's driving me nuts because I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, we got another 26,000-yard job coming up, like 40 minutes away, and I'm like, I'm fucking can't keep driving. I sent a guy for a friggin'. Oh, I probably shouldn't talk about this.
Have you talked to them about it?
Yeah, but there's like two different sides of it. Well, there's like three. There's like corporate, who are the
Right.
people who
They're the ones that want.
Dude,
the
right now they're
numbers.
spending
Yeah.
$120 million to roll out this digital Cemex Go tracking thing. So like if you're a customer, you can log into this app and you can place orders through the app. And you can like, so if you got a job going on, you can like log in, see where your trucks are and like map out. Like it's really neat, but it's a lot. But
Yeah.
they spent a shitload of money on this. And then in the very next sentence, they're like, okay, we got to cut operational costs. And I'm like, you're talking about cutting costs, but spending $120 million on something that we don't necessarily need,
Right.
but shit like that. But you got operations, which is the people who actually produce and like ship the concrete. And then you got corporate who are worried about costs and all kinds of IT and shit like that. And then you got sales, and it's like three different worlds. So sales just like they just want to sell,
Right.
and then you guys figure out how to fucking make it happen,
Yeah, it's the same thing
Which
with
is
my company.
it is what it is, but
It's the same thing. Yeah, big company just bought us out. What do you think, Drew? How are we looking on time?
Drew, how we looking on time? Drew, we're asking Drew questions and he's just freaking ghosting us right now.
He's getting a drink.
So Christian, what else do we got, dude?
No, that's pretty
What
much
else
it.
you got on that tablet, Drew?
That's pretty much it, I think.
No, we're not
All
done.
right.
We're not friggin' done, dude.
Nah, that's it. We'll keep this week short. Let's head to the lake, dude. Let's get out on the skis. Let's do something,
Lake.
brother.
It's the lake.
Let's go for a little sunset session, right? All right, so thanks everyone for tuning in. Today is June 30th. Tomorrow will be June 31st,
No.
the 27th.
It'll be July 1st.
Tomorrow will be July 1st. That's
Yeah.
when this episode will be dropping. Remember to leave us a rating on iTunes.
5 stars.
5 stars if you feel it. If not, tell us what you think. Because speak your mind or you're a little bitch.
Yeah.
Oh.
5 stars.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Or JK.
Rate it how you see fit.
Dude, how's that Dasani raspberry?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to, brother.
I want to know because I almost figured.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in and have a great night. Or great day. Or great weekend. Or whatever it is.